So I bought a set of 4 of these. They are real cheap clay packy Sharpy clones, and they have some problems. Let me show you. Alright, so I'm having DMX issues with these. 2 of them, if you plug them straight into the node with a terminator, like 6 million times, plug and unplug, they'll work for a little while. The other 2 just don't work at all. This is one of the 2 that doesn't work at all. This is DMX coming straight out of my node. This is live. There's a terminator plugged into the back, I'll show you here in a minute. But if I plug this in, I get nothing. Normally this little light would light up and it would probably respawn because it's all the way at the end of its travel right now. I'll show you real quick that it is plugged in with a terminator and everything, and it doesn't work. Interestingly enough too, on all of mine, the input and output are labeled backwards. So the input is labeled output, output is labeled input. These are just 2 connectors that are parallel together, so it doesn't really matter, but for, like, I have guys that help me set up, and it's confusing to them when the chain is backward, they run the wrong end of the node, and then everybody's sad. Anyway, we're gonna fix that while we're in there. So naturally, first thing we'll wanna do, shut her off, pull our power, and then really we'll only need into this side of the lower base. Grab a screwdriver, and we'll get going. So there's just 4 screws that we need to get to. Okay, now that we've got those screws out, we can have a look in the base. Sometimes it can be tricky to get this off. You have to kind of deal with the yoke to get it to get out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to reposition you, and we'll have a look in here. All right, so here are the connectors. So we can actually remove those by just taking the fasteners out from the back on those. And we'll just flip those upside down. So now we have the correct connector labels. Our in is actually our in and our out is actually our out. They're upside down, that doesn't matter. Now we will correct the issue that makes it so they don't receive DMX. So like I said, this is the connector board back here, and then the main board that actually receives the DMX and controls the fixture is up here. And there's a cable, shielded cable, with I believe a twisted pair, that goes from the connector board all the way up to the front board here. Now I'm gonna take this off and show you why it doesn't work. Alright, so we've gone handheld for this bit. So I'll show you why this doesn't work. So this is the connector board in here. We have the red cable, which goes to pin 3 on the connectors. That is the data positive. We have the shield in the middle, which goes to pin 1 on the connectors. That is correct, that's the shielding for the data. And then we have the white cable goes to pin 2 on these connectors, which is data negative. So that all makes sense. Now if we look at this end, the cable order is different, or the pin order on the connector is different. You'll see that it goes pin 3, pin 2, pin 1. But if we look at the other side of the board, it's looking for pin order pin 3, pin 1, pin 2. So the pin order coming from this board to this board is screwy. So we can fix that pretty easily. So I will go ahead and put this back on the tripod and show you how we'll do that. Okay, so this is the connector in question. It's on the main board of the light. We're super zoomed in, as you can tell. So we'll go ahead and unplug that. Now in this case, all we have to do to achieve that pin order 312 is flip the shield and the data negative. So we'll go ahead and do that. So you want to grab the nearest by sharp pointy object and try not to stab yourself when doing this. It's probably better to do it on a hard surface, but you can kind of push down on that little retaining clip, and then these pins will slide out of this connector, right? Let's try that again. Deformed the connector a little bit there. Oh, still doesn't want to come. I'm going to put it up on this. push on it down there. All right, let's try this once again. There we are. So now we've got that out. And we'll go ahead and remove the white one as well. So we'll give that a little push. And then just pull it out. So not quite. This can be a finicky process, as you can tell. Still not quite there. There we are. Okay, so now we've got these pins out. We'll need to re-bend that just so that it can clip in again. You'll have to excuse the condition of my hands. I bite my nails and I work outside, so they are not in great shape. So we will bend that up a little bit. There are safer ways to do all of this. So, you know, you should probably do those things those ways. But this is just to give the basic idea of what needs to happen. Oh, come on. Hopefully we didn't push that one in too much to be recovered. Let me work on getting this back out and we'll go from there. All right, so I've got these little clips bent back out so that when they slide into here, they will grip the nylon. So if you remember, our pin order is 3, which is the red, 1, which is the black. So we'll slide that in there. It'll clip in and then won't come back out. And then 2, which is the white. So we'll slide that in, it'll clip in and won't come back out. Now we can just plug that back in and put everything back together. Okay, now that we put it all together, our input and output are right, our cable has been switched internally, we'll go ahead, plug this in. Turn it on, spin it around, and we'll let it do its thing here. And you'll see that we have DMX, and when we go ahead and send it positions, it'll respond. Anyway, I hope that helps a few people. I couldn't find any info on this. The thing that led me to finding this was I had these at my last show. Here's a couple clips.
Such a shame my friendship. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. That's alright. Purple rain, purple rain. I only want to see you in
Yeah, so you may have seen them. I had these at my last show, and I couldn't get them to work. I had them all programmed, and I had tested them individually, and I plugged them in, and they all worked. A couple of them I had to like plug in and unplug. I didn't even think about it at the time. So I took them to the show, you know, as just a give her a go kind of thing, and they didn't work. And the sound tech that was there went, "Hey, yeah, I had a friend who just bought a bunch of those, and they didn't work either. He said there was some weird internal wiring." So I had a look. Turns out it's a pretty easy fix. So anyway, Brendan, if you happen to see this, you were right. But yeah, I hope that helped a few people. And yeah, I don't really recommend these, but they will work. They're pretty bright. They look pretty good. So there you go. More stuff to come. I have updates coming on things. You might be able to tell probably from other videos on my channel. I've gotten some nicer fixtures, nicer than these. Some like legit semi-brand name fixtures, ADJs, stuff like that. The rig is getting big. Things are moving fast. Hopefully cool stuff will be coming to the channel soon. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I hope that helped.